We have now interrupted your regularly scheduled programming to bring you.
All right, welcome back to yet another installment of the Warheads. I am Apocalypto Joe.
I'm Roscoe.
And I'm Knuckles.
And once again, we want to encourage you. It's free to just subscribe to our page, like, comment, subscribe, but help us allow our channel to grow. We really would appreciate it. Now that my begging is over with, I just wanted to ask you guys a question. We live in an age now where we're really transitioning from an old paradigm to a new paradigm. An old paradigm, man, boy meets girl, boy asks girl out on a date. Boy, because he was a working man, he takes her out, pays for everything. Eventually, he tries to marry her if she seems to be a viable candidate. However, things have changed a little bit around these here parts. Women are making more money. They're bringing finances to the table. I won't go into any of the other things that they might not be bringing to the table, but money is a major issue in this world. So I wanted to pose a question to the panel. Should the first sex be paid for their time? We know that women are always asking you to do things for them in a transactional way. But do they really deserve it?
I'll put it like this. If she wants to be looked at as a whore, then then we and if we set the table and set the bar there, then that is what it is. Then each individual man could deal with that reality if he wants to, But if you're not talking about just outright paying a woman, or a woman just outright asking for some type of monetary gift for her presence and sex, then and you're talking about some young lady who's talking about the aspect of a man being able to court her in the proper respect, then that I can subscribe to, because myself, I don't have an issue when I'm courting a person to necessarily be the one to pay for the date, to pay for lunch, dinner, whatever it is, the drinks, movie out, whatever it is that we're doing. I don't really have an issue with doing that, the first couple of times or so, you know what I mean? Because I make my own money. I'm making the decision to do how I will, and that's how I feel I should do when I'm courting a woman now. Every guy doesn't have to subscribe to that, but I just think that myself, I don't think that there's an issue with a guy being able to extend himself monetarily if he's courting a young lady.
Well, let's see. Should you pay for / entertainment? Well, as my guy once again Rodney say, there are rules to this. If we're dating, it's a different thing. Guys already know when you're dating, you're gonna spend money, especially if you really like a person. If you're trying to be serious with this person, you're gonna have that kindness in your heart to want to not make her look nice, but you might see something that makes her look nice. In your heart, you're gonna buy it. If it's from gym shoes to jewelry to whatever, that's an emotional buy. That's because you guys are trying to be as one. But as just freak buddy, somebody you mess around with, and she said, "Oh well, I need some money because I got this going on. My bills is due." Your bills was due before you came over here. So no, I don't agree with that. If that's the case, if a woman get paid for being company, then a man should get the same thing. If they ain't got no type of relationship going on and you want him to come over there, then pay him. It works both ways.
Yeah. The name of the episode is Should the Fairer Sex Be Paid for Their Time? And so, traditionally we call women the fairer sex. And to me, that suggests that men are the unfair sex. This is what I've picked up on over the years. Men are usually the ones that are the most romantic. We put flowers on the bed, we buy the roses, the candy, we set up the extravagant dates, the horse and carriage rides. Like, men are really pulling out the stops, pulling out all the stops to entertain this woman. What comes to my mind? The music video, Remember the Time. You guys remember the time?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed.
So what is Eddie Murphy doing in this video? He's trying to entertain his wife. Pharaoh's trying to entertain his wife, Iman. He's bringing out fire breathers, jugglers. He even brings out the little magic man in Michael Jackson. He does a little dust thing and spins around and does a little spin-a-rooney, and Iman is interested. And so if she was really fair, shouldn't she bring something more than just herself to this engagement? Why is it that men are on the hook to do all these things to appease a woman? At the beginning of one of our previous videos, dichotomy of a pick-me girl. The young woman at the beginning says that when you're dating someone, it should be even exchange. Why does a woman feel like she needs all this extravagance, all this opulence in order to engage a man? When you're having sex, she's getting penis. You as a man, you're getting vagina. What do you guys think is behind the entitlement of this mentality that the modern woman is dealing with, even though they're making their own money?
Well, me, myself, I tend to think that man is the actual culprit here, because man is the one who kind of allowed for well, that and feminism, if you will, you know what I mean, if you want to throw that in there. But yeah, men have allowed for women to kind of break down this door, if you will, of being able to feel all this entitlement. And when all it would have taken, well, if we, in a perfect world, if we were thinking like a monolith, for us to put our foot down and not allow for certain behaviors and certain habits to exist, and that would be just the end of that. But yeah, it didn't happen. And somewhere along the way, woman was told, as my partner Apocalypto would state in other videos that we had about women being sugar and spice and everything nice, when men are considered something other than that. But yeah, women have always been pampered and been given excuses for their behavior, when and a lack of accountability has been allowed for them for the longest time. So really, that's all it's been, is that all those things have added up to woman feeling this certain type of entitlement. And men have just get that. Now it's to the point where you created that monster, and now that monster is running rampant. So it just is what it is right now.
Well, I got to agree on everything my brother just said, because it is out of control. I mean, years back, it was a thing called courting and dating and things like that. You always had, people who snuck off and did things, with each other, and that's my hidden lover boo or fuck buddy or whatever you want to call them, whatever label you want to put them. But see, today's men are a little bit different. The real men and today's men, we're kind of clashing because today's men believe in fuck the relationship, fuck me courting you. Look, how much do it cost to get that monkey in the window? And she puts a label on it. Okay, well, you can give me this. And dude can have no teeth, no arms or legs, and she would lay down with this dude for the money. And somewhere down the line, somebody had to tell that sister that what you doing is wrong. Somebody got to tell this sister that, look, everything ain't about the money, because, baby, if you catch HIV or anything from this cat, money ain't going to solve it. You know, it's just a messed up world and a messed up time at this point. And it's more of what's going on right now today than what my future holds in the next couple of days.
Interesting. Sounds like you're describing the prostitution game. But like I said in my previous statement, like if they are considered the fairer sex, and maybe I'm taking this out of context, why don't they behave fairly? You know, once upon a time when a man was taking on a wife, and I know, you know, dating precedes marriage and whatnot. However, there used to be a marriage dowry. And with that marriage dowry, it was a transfer of parental property, money upon marriage of a daughter. Dowry contrasts with the related concepts of bride price and the dower. So that being the case, at least times gone by, a father understood, hey, before I give you my daughter, because I know she's going to be a burden because you're going to have to take care of her, you know, here's gifts. Here's something to kind of make this transition smoothly for you, because you're going to have to provide for this woman. You're going to have to put a roof over her head. When she gets sick, you're going to have to make sure she's well, protect her, you name it. Well, men are still doing a lot of those same things. However, it's the women who feel like they should be given the gifts even long before a marriage even takes place. So there's been a role reversal of some sort where these things are concerned. And the reason why it's concerning for me is because I stumbled across some information when it comes down to the pay that women are earning nowadays. It brings out, it says almost a third of women working nationwide now out earn their husbands. So if they're out earning their husbands now, that means they're out earning them as their boyfriends, even when they're dating. And it brings up that, you know, they're going to school longer, they're pushing off having kids. You know, once upon a time, women would get married young, late teens, early 20s, you name it. And they would be popping out those babies quick, fast, and in a hurry. Well, now they're getting degree after the degree, with the debt, might I add, but they're also getting the high-paying jobs that come with that, and an economy that's essentially transitioning from an industrial age to one that's more based in the office. You know, office work was always traditionally where women would work predominantly. And so that being the case, fair? I'm not trying to speak for all women, but shouldn't there be like a mental adjustment about, you know, what they should contribute to relationships? Or are women not the fairer sex, but truly the unfair sex?
No, it's so funny that you say that, bro. Because, you know, and we have these conversations all the time, but you are right about that. Like, is it what you saying that, like, is it fair that the unfair sex, knowing that they're making all this money, you know, not stepping up to the plate, like you're saying, you know, yeah, you know, if they were fair people, you know, then yeah, you know, like, man, I know you don't make as much as I do. I make a little bit more, so I won't expect you to carry this crazy financial burden or expect certain luxuries from you, because there is a difference between necessities. Like, as a man, you want to be able to provide the necessary things, but But when the luxuries come into play, there's going to be differences there probably, and compromises that have to be made. But yeah, these women who are making all this money, yeah, they should be forking over, dude. Like come out your pocket, chick.
I agree 100%, because if just say, for instance, you have a woman that's making about between $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year, and you still want the guy you just picked up off the street, standing on the corner, to foot the bill. So how does that supposed to work? But then, you end up coming out of your pocket, but it's a catch to that, because now he's a target, because when you get with your girlfriends, he's going to be everything except the son of God, because he couldn't foot the bill. I never understood this with our ladies. Now, we cry about equality in work, equality in sports, equality, they just want equality. Okay, y'all got it. That don't mean treat everybody else like shit. Yeah. Our sisters today have real bad problems about that with men and money. It's like almost like money and women go hand in hand, and that's not at all. I mean, money is nobody's friend, not my friend, not their friend, and they think that they coochie is worth millions. And I'm saying, no, no, God damn it.
No.
If that's the case, we all should think like that.
No, Apocalypto said it already earlier when he said that we are already en masse the ones who not only are the providers of the necessary things in a relationship, but we bring all the entertainment value and all those things to the table as well. You know what I mean? And are the ones who are expected rather to pay for a lot of the events that we happen to go out to and entertain ourselves with. So when is it their turn to do some of these things for us? Is what the question I ask.
A good question.
As I round out this discussion, because we're limited on time, there were 6 points that this article brings out that I think are pretty good. And of these points, it brings out to tell the women to remember that this generation of women that's earning this money, you're pioneers. Like no other generation has been able to earn this type of money. Their parents, their grandparents were all pretty much traditional, as we know traditional. The man was the breadwinner, mother took care of the home. And so to keep that in mind when looking at relationships, you have to adjust. There has been a paradigm shift. If you're truly the fair sex, it says keep in mind that the workload, not the players, is the problem. We know that it's hard out here. We see gas going up, the cost of food. They're charging for plastic bags at grocery stores now. So we know burden after burden. Even entertainment is more expensive than it's ever been. Find that this workload has nothing to do with your spouse or your significant other. He may still be a good man, even though he may not be earning as much as you do. So don't make it a financial issue. Look at his spiritual qualities, his character. Those things, those tangible things mean more than the money, because once the money is gone, would you rather be poor with a jerk next to you or poor with somebody who's loving and nurturing all the same? It says keep money out of chore talk. Don't make it about the money. Once again, this is about the person and the responsibility. If I wash the dishes, you clean the bathroom. If you wash clothes, I'm taking care of the yard, so on and so forth. But the money should never be a primary issue. You are of the fair sex. Keep talking, communication. I forget, there is a scripture in the Bible that says there is a frustrating in plans when there is no confidential talk. You have to keep the lines of communication going in order to make the team work. It's no different than football players and basketball players running a play. Every time they go out on the field, they know they're going to run a new play. That's communication. Keep that in mind, ladies, since you are of the fairer sex. Talk about financial decision making. You know, you don't have to buy the Birkin bag or the Gucci bag or whatever the case may be. The less you spend, believe it or not, the more money you'll have, and it won't be a burden. And finally, don't hesitate to get professional help. You know, good relationships have other people coming in to show them how not to argue over money, to really deal with each other from a fair space. All that being said, I'm just going to say this on our way out. If you deal in relationship, the key word, the root word in relationship is relate. How do you relate to this individual? Do they speak to your core values? If you're just engaging in a transactional relationships, that's already doomed to fail to begin with. But ladies, your time is no more valuable or precious than a man's time. If you engage in relationship, it should be even exchange. Stay with me, ladies. Even exchange. I know that requires a little bit of accountability, but even exchange. At any rate, if you don't like it, say it in the comments. Did you guys have something to say before we get up out of here?
No, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We love y'all, and we want y'all to be a part of this, man. So come join the Warheads, man.
Warheads, baby.
Warheads.